Good morning, good morning, good morning to ye. Listen. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, looking like a woolly mammoth I am. I promise you the next time you see me, it'll be different. I've been in grind mode. You hear me? On my thuggish ruggers to the bone. But Big Phil Speaks is in the building. Listen, be loved. She's on her way. She is on our way. Listen, everybody, tell a friend to tell a friend. Des and D, what's goody like the mob? John LG, y'all get on over to that good YouTube. Ashley, get there. You feel me? Do. Hold on, let me make sure I pin this situation here. Bob, pin Z message. Uh-oh, Pretty Blue Eyes is in the building, sending some of that good old Philly love, that Philadelphia love. Philly be in the building heavy. Listen, Mrs. Ryder, she comes through always riding through like Clyde the Bonnie. Bonnie the Clyde. Let me say that properly. That part. GMG in the place to be. There she go. There she go. There she go. There she go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning,
Good
gang.
morning. Beloved is in
What's
the heezy for sheezy.
what's
Face looking
up?
kind of easy, but it's early.
For sure,
John
for
LG,
sure.
good morning. Good morning, gang. They is super. Andy, they in the place to be.
Good
Senpai,
morning.
uh-huh. Zenobia says she's here. I hear. Listen, damn it.
We
Stuck in that
see
summer.
you.
Senpai, well, I'm glad you got us on your ears or in your vision to be able to carry you through that
Good
tunnel.
morning,
Vision.
Des.
Tell me.
Good morning, Mrs. Ryder. Good morning,
LG,
J-Man. Good morning,
Rich,
Pretty
with
Blue.
TV,
LG.
the
Good morning,
birds.
Rich. Welcome back. Rich been living his best birthday life.
You
Seriously.
hear
He
me?
took like
You hear
a
me?
whole half a month. And I
Rich
ain't
say
mad at you.
it's my birthday is an event. You hear me? Not a day, but a
Okay?
situation. You hear me? He said, I'm coming
Yes.
across the country, taking it by storm like a
Good
hurricane
morning,
or a tornado. I'm not just
757.
being gone. That
Good
part.
morning, the bird. Exactly.
Morning,
And I'm
good
not
morning,
mad at
people
it
over the
because
YouTube.
life is for sure too short, and we definitely cannot just be taking it for granted. Enjoy it all. I don't know why people
That
waiting
part.
for special days just to live. I'm like, I want to live today, every day.
She said, I just want to live. They're like the little boy song doing the George Floyd situation. I just want to live.
Not the George
That part. Shout
Floyd.
out to
Yes,
him.
he
Shout out to
was.
him. Shout out to
It's
him.
just the light, Desbx. It's just the light. She back with
Nah,
her big
no,
blueberry.
no. Dan.
Yes.
We ain't letting her off that early. It's the
Well,
beef
that
grease
early or
beef
that
level.
easy. No.
Trina Pink, good
But
morning.
good morning,
J
Miss
Man,
Pink.
what's goody like the mom? Y'all catch
These
that
are my
Knicks game
round
today.
around the way. What next game? I thought they was out of it. You
Right.
being funny.
J J Man being funny.
Shit. You got jokes,
Damn
J
it.
man.
Yeah, I watched it right after the Warriors game. Listen.
Right. Stay in it for
Damn
one more
it. Look,
for one more.
you know what I mean? Like we get a bonus round, a bonus. You know what I'm saying? Something new the NBA doing.
Okay. Okay.
Fan appreciation game or some bullshittery. Hey Keisha Hall, you can have yourself a ball if your assets already know it all.
Oh no. Good morning, Miss Hall. Good morning.
Listen, share the live. Tell a
Man.
friend. Tell a friend. It's early, I get it, but it's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. You need to get over the hump, don't you? Tell a friend to tell a friend so we can menage with the world. 1 to 7 of your friends. Copy the link where it says share. Copy the link. Go on over to IG to your inbox, your DM, whatever. Say, listen, you need to get over here. It's about to go up.
Yes, for real. Share the show.
Share.
Share the
Share. You hear me?
show. And if
Share.
anybody wants to come on, give us a few more minutes. The link is right up top. Just click on the link. Come on in. Y'all
That
always
part.
welcome to be a part of the show. You know we
That
love it.
part. That part. I see
You
you
know,
stationary today. You not been around the world and yeah.
not not at the moment.
I tell B
Not
Love
at the moment.
she's like a young female nomad, like a gypsy queen. She be here, then she be there, then she be over there. Look, I thought I put wheels up and you know what I'm saying, get across the way. She be around the world and you hear me?
Okay. And trying
I
to get
think y'all
around
gotta
the
watch
world.
me.
Like I've been more around the US than I am around the world, but I'm like
It's the
but I'll
same. It's the same.
definitely be
Y'all
we're
think I'm the
actually
one
gonna
you got
talk
to
about
watch. You got to watch her, not me. I'm the one be chilling. She be, yes, ladies, I'm tuning in from the airport. You know, I just touched down. It's your girl, Be Love.
right. Flying in from the Galapagos Islands.
You feel me?
Galapagos
Look,
Islands.
I ain't mad at her though. I'm like, look, I have at it. You got one life to live. Live it to its fullest potential. You hear me?
Why not? Why
You got
not?
your coffee
Are we
this
gonna
morning?
I do not. This morning I'm on water Perrier. I'm sorry, Pellegrino. Are y'all
Pellegrino, the
are
sparkling
y'all
water.
picky?
Sparkling water.
Yeah. Are y'all picky about your water? Like I'm starting to become a little bit of a water snob. Where I only drink certain waters. Those salsa waters
I'm
have
kind of
me
that way. If I have to
addicted.
drink if I have to drink something else, I will. But pause. I have certain ones that I
Good
like the
morning,
most.
Tracy T. He said, not the pause. Um, that
Yeah,
and the other thing that I'm getting very
Tracy
high
T.
maintenance about is if I go to a restaurant, I am for sure ordering bottled water. I don't care. I'm not drinking anybody's tap water. Anyway, and people be like, "You don't want no, I don't want your nasty tap water. Stop trying to give it away. Give me my bottle of something fancy and keep it moving." Cuz all of this water and everywhere is so disgusting. So anyway, that's just me.
You bougie. You bougie.
I
Act
I'm a little
like
bit
you ain't,
bougie.
act like you ain't grow up off that good NY tap water.
NYC and had great tab water. See, Pretty Blue only
And
drinks
great time.
Fiji. Fiji's an arm and a leg. No, no, seriously. Like the
Fiji's
Fiji
the
water is
bomb
gonna
though.
cost you like $7, $8. I'm like, okay, it's just water. Like
$7, $8.
I gotta,
That's what they charge you
yeah.
up in New York, 7, 8, or New Jersey. What?
When
Yeah,
I
the
was at the airport the other day, the man in front of me bought a bottle of Fiji water, and it came out to
oh,
$8 and some
the
change.
airport. Yeah, the
And
airport.
I
Yeah,
was
they.
like, but even the hotels charge $6, $7. I'm like, okay, this is where my bougetto. Shout out to my girl Trina Pink. This is
Stop
where my
capping.
bougetto kicks in, and I need a budget. I need a water budget. Good morning, stop capping.
Oh yeah,
And
airport
so,
places like the airport, they gonna rob you without a gun. They gonna imply that there's one on the counter, but you don't see it. You know it's there when they ring the prices up. Ching ching, pay that.
ching, ching. For real. I'm like, I need that bougetto budget water, something in the middle, where I'm good at 5 or 6. That's about my cap.
I'm looking a
That is
little,
about my cap. You talking about you looking like what did you say? You out here
looking a
grinding,
little fuzzy,
a,
little
a
fuzzy.
little
Yeah,
a little rough around the edges. Poland
that's
Spring is
all right.
okay for me. Me too.
I'm
I
gonna be
don't even
back.
cook with tap water.
Chin check. Good
Chin
morning.
check. Good morning. Good
Trina said
morning.
Poland Springs for me. Uh-oh.
That $2 bottle works just fine. The only thing I will not drink is filtered water. And sometimes people don't know the difference. They'll just pick up a bottle of water because it's in a bottle. But filtered water is nothing more than boiled water. So I don't want boiled water. I
Boy,
want.
water will kill some of the
Can I please?
impurities.
If I'm gonna pay the same money, why not get the real deal? Like I
The
want.
real deal. I get you on that. Yeah,
Let's
I
just.
get you on that.
Oh, stop capping. Look at you bringing fire out the gate. Can we talk about that video with Jerry Springer left to his kids and his will to his two black
Man,
kids?
you ain't seen that.
Jerry's no,
You
Jerry Springer was
slipping on
married
that
to,
one. No, he wasn't married.
listen.
No, he was not married. No, to no black person. No. And they saying
What?
that it's real. I was like, man, this got to be a hoax. But they saying a lot of sources are saying no, that's a real video, real situation.
Oh,
We
well, please,
we'll
man.
get. I guess we'll get into it at some point, but it is a hot topic.
Yes.
Like, oh, Jerry, you was out there more than your
You
talk
was your own
self.
Jerry.
Yeah,
That-
you should have went
that's
on
what
there
it
and be
is.
like, Jerry, you are the father. Listen,
Oh my god. No, Des
listen.
BX. We not drinking toilet water. Cut it out. I miss that. Me
No
too. I
toilet,
miss
no
Jerry.
toilet water,
Jerry.
no toilet water. Uh-uh.
What?
Hey, Trina Pink, yeah, Jerry is different.
You know what's so crazy? It just that's the thing about death is that all types of secrets be sliding out that you never even knew before. The kid. So just getting into the topic of things like men having a whole other families and men having whole other families, and sometimes the women knew about it back in the days. Sometimes the women knew about it, but they didn't really care. As long as the man just brought the check home, they made sure that their family was intact. I know people who have whole grandfathers and fathers who used to go, like, they'll take a whole Saturday to go spend Saturday with the other family. Like, it's crazy. So could you imagine being a wife sitting in the lawyer's office, the will is getting read, and it's like, yeah, so I'm leaving all my money to the other kids. Like, you can't even kill him. You can't even come up with ways to knock him off because he's already gone. What do you do in those situations? What do you do? I would probably unbury him, beat him up a little bit,
Not
and then
unbury
rebury
you.
her. Ain't nobody gonna. What can they do? Can they arrest me for assault? He's already dead. Wow, that is crazy. We're gonna talk about Jerry Springer. We're gonna talk about John Morant, our favorite little athlete who's just got so much talent, but he just keeps getting in his own way. We're
So
gonna talk
far
about
gone.
Jamie
That far.
Foxx. Jamie Foxx has apparently come out of the hospital and is going into rehab. I keep seeing stories where they're like they're speaking about it, but we're gonna get into that. And we're just gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. That's what we are here for. It is the
Mhm.
Hump Day replay, y'all.
That porridge,
And
that porridge.
I know, Pretty Blue, let me tell you something. Every once in a while, I have to get mine off. And I usually don't wake up in violence, but there's some
You have to
times
get
where
what
I'm just
off?
like, my anger. Like, how do you, Phil, how
I
do
didn't know
you,
this.
how do you
Okay.
get your anger off? Like, when you get upset about something, I was actually upset about something yesterday. And it was just like I didn't want to vent about it. I didn't want to hold on to negative energy. But at the same time, I really want to like do something. I just don't know. I just don't want to go to jail. So how do you get your anger off? Get it
Not
off.
just don't want to go to jail. Who you beefing with? Who you beefing with? Who we got to ride out on? She talking about I just don't want to go to jail.
I don't. I always tell you guys, and I mean it when I say orange is not the new black. And it's
Yeah.
it really is just,
There though. With that
huh?
yellow. You kind of getting close with that yellow though.
I'm getting close with the. I'm trying to be cheerful today. That's why I wore this shirt. It has two little big eyes. So I
We
just
not trying to see
wanted.
that. Not trying to see the big eyes. Sorry. Sorry. She tried.
Anyway,
You see how she tried to segue into something on Hump Day? You see
that's
that, right? We
anyway.
chilling.
It's them eyes. That's how I be feeling sometimes. Them eyes be like, "What? You really said?" And then what?
Oh, Jay, speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself. Not
Salute
fill,
you,
but fill up.
JJ. Salute to you, brethren.
Yeah, man, I can't with you. Have sex. Good morning, Sabrina. Welcome. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. I actually just went ahead and pulled up the story about Jerry Springer. Let's get into it, y'all. If there's anything I love to do is to sip some tea. So, a clip of Jerry
Mm.
Springer has gone viral on Twitter, showing him reading a last will and testament with a bunch of juicy details. And some fans think it's the real deal, but it turns out to be more fiction than fact. Oh, the video shows Jerry in a Zoom call divvying up his assets to his children, more specifically, leaving a good portion to two black kids he had out of wedlock. Of course, there's no way this is rooted in reality, so it's not real. It's actually a pandemic era virtual play called Blood Money. Jerry made a cameo in the production and was featured in Reframed 2020, a festival of new plays on social justice presented by Tulane University, the school where he was a student. It's a pretty interesting piece, but gullible folks online took it and ran with one saying only Jerry Springer could go out like this. I was gonna say, come on, Jerry. You couldn't really be the star of your own show. Another person said Jerry wrote the best episode of his drama-filled reality show yet. As
Yeah.
if the evidence against this being legit wasn't enough, a source connected to Jerry tells us this obviously isn't real, adding that he only had one daughter throughout his life. Oh, okay. You'll recall Jerry was laid to rest earlier this month in a Chicago suburb after dying from pancreatic cancer. Unclear if the rumor starters knew the clip was a play, but of course, trolls will be trolls. So we just debunked that. He did not leave his money to his two black illegitimate kids. It was not a Jerry
But
moment.
very interesting nonetheless, and very, very Jerry-esque way to go out, to have that play
Well,
out after the fact. That right there was dope. I was like, oh, because he had two girls that was supposed to be his daughters. Then he had a black dude and a black girl. I guess they were supposed to be brothers and sisters. And then I think the other person was supposed to have been like attorney or some officiant or something. And he played it out. He didn't crack a smile. He talked and he said the only thing he was leaving his white daughters was one house somewhere, and then everything else, all his other properties and all his assets and all his tangible. That's how I knew it was something extra, because he went out of his way to say certain like key words, and I was like, oh, he doing the most. That he was leaving all these to these black kids out of the fact that he wasn't able to be around because society and his wife and this, that, and the third wouldn't allow him to be in their life. And but you know, what
Jerry
other way to go out?
left his
Yeah,
kids
what
with reparations before he.
and that's kind of what he alluded to. That's kind of what he alluded to in part of it. I said, Jerry.
Listen,
Listen,
can you hear
it
me,
got
Miss?
everybody talking about Jerry Springer even from the grave, and that right
Yes,
there is dope.
yes.
It was dope.
Well,
Just
someone
imagine.
Des said that Jerry smashed them guests on the show. You know what's so funny is, and we're gonna talk about it. There's so much coming out now when it comes to sexual assault and sexual harassment with women. You would have thought with the Me Too movement that a lot of this stuff would still not be happening, and we're going to talk about it. But before we
Uh,
do, hold on, Sylvia, can you hear me? Because you keep saying, "Can you hear Be Love?" Can you hear me? Okay? Can everybody hear me? Okay? Let me
yeah,
know if you can. Okay.
he good.
Um, so much of this stuff is coming out now. You know, Trump ultimately got convicted of the sexual assault of the lady, you know, Jean Carroll,
Civilly,
and
civilly,
now
civilly.
civilly, right? He got convicted, so he has to pay her $5 million, which we talked about, and of course he's going to appeal it, but he will not win. Now all of a sudden, all of this stuff is coming out about Rudy Giuliani, and honestly, it's so disappointing. The Rudy Giuliani um, claims, because when Rudy Giuliani was mayor of New York City, he was on his game. And you know, he was one of the few people that actually had a really good reputation. And now he's being sued for $10 million by a former employee, accusing, and I want to talk about this because I want to know, has anybody, any woman in this room, or even man, because sexual harassment is not a male female, like a female thing. Males get harassed too. I know exactly, Phil. But anyway, he just got sued. Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City and the attorney for former President Donald Trump, is being sued in a lawsuit seeking 10 million in damages by a former employee accusing him of sexual assault, harassment, wage theft, and other misconduct. The 70-page complaint was filed in New York court on Monday by Noel Dunphy, who was hired by Giuliani in January 2019 to work on the business development side for his firm. The complaint features sensitive allegations of sexual assault. He made clear that satisfying his sexual demands, which came virtually anytime, anywhere, was an absolute requirement of her employment and of his legal representation, the complaint reads. It also says he demanded that she work naked, in a bikini, or in short shorts with
Wow.
an American flag on them that he that he bought for
What?
at least he was patriotic. In a statement, a spokesperson for Giuliani said he's unequivocally denies the allegations raised by Ms. Dunphy. Mayor Giuliani's lifetime of public service speaks for itself, and he will pursue all available remedies and counterclaims. Giuliani spokesman Tim Goodman says, an attorney for Dunphy says Justin Kellen, Mr. Giuliani is not the first powerful man accused of sexual abuse towards subordinates who attempts to smear his accuser in a discredited a game of blame the victim. According to the complaint, which includes photographs, text messages between Dunphy and Giuliani, and further details about her time as his employee, Dunphy alleges that Giuliani would often take performance enhancing drugs, expose himself, and tell her that he could not do any work until you take care of this, while pointing to his genitals. He was constantly pressuring her, making sexual comments, sexual remarks to her about herself. When they were supposed to be working, he would, as our client alleges, he would then grope her and try to initiate sexual contact. She alleges that on several occasions she objected clearly, and he did not respect those objections, Kelton added. She also claims that Giuliani would often pressure her into oral sex, sometimes while on the phone with high profile people, including at one time former President Trump. Giuliani allegedly told Dunphy that he enjoyed engaging in this conduct while on the phone because it made him feel like Bill Clinton, according to the complaint.
Oh, oh, damn it. Damn it.
If this is not white privilege at its maximum, I don't know what is, but here's what I will say. How do you continue to allow yourself to be subjected to that kind of treatment?
Man, listen.
Who does that? Who goes to work every day? And I'm not blaming the victim, but are you a victim when you go to work every day for a year? You know, you know that you have to put on a bikini or a little pair of, I don't even want to wear USA shorts now. The hell with the USA. I'm offended.
I don't
And
know,
you have
B-Love.
to, who does that? And I want to hear both sides of the fence. I want to hear both, the women, male. Is she really a victim when she's been doing this for a year? Going in to supposedly to be sexually assaulted and harassed it sounds like you had a relationship to me. It sounds like you guys were in some kind of situationship. He promised you money and probably power. He is very powerful, or was. And you did what you felt like you had to do. Let's get in these comments. I want to hear this because for some women, I know me personally, you're not talking to me, you're not even talking to me a certain way before I'm out the door. So for you to feel like you're going to make me perform sexual acts, or we have to have sexual, that's just not happening. I mean, why are you looking like that? Say something, Phil.
This to say something. It
Say
seems
something.
that
Okay.
Poop Butt
Take a
Rudy
minute,
was
X out of line.
was heavily into the booty. You know,
She was better
oh,
finish
dirty
sometimes.
old man he was, huh? But
They
and
usually
not
are.
making light of it. Not making light of it. There's some women that keep running back to their abuser. What's that? Munchausen syndrome or something like that. Stockholm syndrome.
Who?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
Something called
Stockholm
Stockholm.
syndrome.
Um,
It said
but
Julia.
in this case, would that apply? Not sure. it's to me it's reminiscent of Bill Cosby. Because the women involved, a lot of them, they went back multiple times. It wasn't like it was one offs and oh no, he did me dirty or he did something to me. I'm not going to be around him. They went back to him. In this situation, she's going to have a lot to prove. She's going to have a lot by way of what was more important to you, your job or the allegation that you're saying took place. Because, like you said, who goes to work repetitively for however long he was in office, which was for a while, and subjects yourself to that unless you engaged, liked it, wanted it to a certain point. And I'm not trying to make light or lessen the plight of a real victim
Right.
in no way, shape, or form.
Right.
But who keeps, like you said, who keeps going back to that? Like, make that make sense. To me, it doesn't. But maybe there's more to it as to maybe he threatened her. Maybe allegedly. I don't know. Maybe he's had something over her and made it so you better show up. I don't know. Maybe he
Right.
was blackmailing her, saying he would put some things out, uh, trample on her
So
image.
what? What could you possibly have on me as your employee that would make you feel like me? Like, no offense, there's a bunch of beautiful women out here. Yes, pretty blue, you have me in tears. Okay, she'd be in the HR office. Forget me. Phil would be in the HR office every other.
Like,
You had to tell pretty blue to let me go. Tell her it's just I can't
my
work
bow
under
wow
these
wows and I
conditions.
didn't like it.
Well, let me ask you this, Phil. Have you ever, okay, Tracy T, and I'm about to get into your comment. Have you ever dealt with sexual harassment at the workplace or in any situation?
You know what's funny about
Wow.
that?
Good
You know
morning,
what's funny
Jane.
about that? And I'm trying to be careful. Men,
Why?
I
Because
think,
HR is in the building.
no, no, no. I think men view it and handle it differently, see it differently, even from people that they may not be interested in, as opposed to a woman. A woman, I think, feels more disgusted and violated than a man does.
Mm,
And I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, y'all chime in and tell me so. But even if it's somebody you either like, attracted to, or somebody that you don't, that you're not attracted to, or whatever, um, it can be more flattering than harassing. Now, if it gets to the point of stalking and some other crap and leaving stuff on your car and then it's something different. But I don't know. But yes, I have been, I guess you could say, quote unquote, harassed under the terms of what harassment is supposed to be. Would I go to whatever I've ever gone to HR about it? No, I wouldn't do that because one, I'm a man, I can handle myself. Two, you know, to me, I looked at it like it was all in fun, like it was all in not like in jest, but in how can I say? You laughing? What you laughing about? What you had saying?
James said you had some puss in your face on the bus. And then he said, tell them what happened on that bus. It's okay. We're
Uh,
here for
oh,
you.
oh, 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 oh. That was harassment, though. That was.
Oh,
Damn
shoot.
it,
What
J
happened on
man.
the
Damn it.
bus?
I was, you know,
What happened on the bus? First of all, what bus? Now you have to give complete
it
backstory
was
now.
more of a sprint. It was a sprinter van. It wasn't a bus. But
Let's get that part clear. It was not. It
I
wasn't a
was
yellow bus.
no. Queens Flip had a show in New York, a live show in New York, and I was not really cast at the moment, but I was a VIP member or whatever. And one of the young ladies on the bus, that was on the sprinter van, came from the back of the sprinter van all the way to the front. I was on the front row talking to another young lady, Leah, and her friend on the front row. I forget what we was conversating about. And she came from the back of the bus and was like, excuse me, and pushed past them and it came and plopped down on my lap. and start giving me a lap dance on the butt on this sprinter van. And a lot of people, and I'm just like, at first I'm like, and then like, go ahead, Phil, yeah, Phil, whatever the case may be, right? And one of the other close knit cast members, whatever, she got up and pulled her dress up and everything, and she had no
What?
drawers or nothing. True story.
What?
There is footage of this, and somebody gave her name, helped her hold her dress up, and all this other. I was like, and this
Phil
is
was
my
like, I
thing.
don't know whether to like it or love it. I don't know.
No. This is the thing.
Tell the
I'm
truth. We got
no,
receipts.
ladies, Big Phil would have liked or respected it if it was in a one-on-one setting, but to do it in front of
Okay.
a sprinter van full of people, male and female, it read something else. And I
I'm
had to go
done.
home and take a hot shower in the
Shower.
part of the shower. I was violated. Oh, so,
Yo, all I'm gonna say is if you
no
ever
hate,
sued,
no hate,
no,
no hate.
no.
I'm speaking fact to life to what J Man was asking about. That's
Black boy said we'll never forget that night. Good morning,
man,
night rider. Oh my God.
man.
He said, first of all, never call
For
J Man
real.
to the damn stand. If you ever sue this chick, don't call J Man to the stand because he is now on your side. He said, Phil, you liked it. Don't front. We saw your face. He
No,
said, we got the receipts.
I went along with the situation after a second, but they didn't catch my facial expression when she first sat down. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what? Because out of the blue, it wasn't like we was flirting or nothing. It was like out of nowhere. It was like,
She
and
was
I'm
like,
just
I'm just
like,
gonna take this opportunity while we on this bus and can't
yeah.
anybody go anywhere to get mine off.
Who can't
I
validate that? It's footage. It's actual video footage, LG. Actual footage of
you
this.
giving yourself away. He trying to help you out. You can't validate the will and Phil.
Oh no, he said. Oh yeah, he said the Willingfield. That part. Yeah. That part. That part. LG. I ain't
He's
read.
trying to hook you.
I'm
He's
freestyling now, but I didn't. Hey,
It
Doug.
looks like you did, PX. It looks.
Doug.
Oh my god, cool. Oh
Juices
my
on your back.
god,
Hey, Mrs.
not cool.
Ryder.
Not. Oh my god, that's the thing. Could you imagine now you in there smelling like another woman? That's yeah. Yeah, I don't really have much to
That
say.
was
I
another
really have
part of
nothing
the
to
joke. That was another part of the joke because I said somebody asked if she think or smell. I said she smelled like prunes and mushroom juices or something like that. I was playing. Though, but
Good morning,
I
Ting.
said something like that. But I was joking. But I didn't smell nothing. But
You had Punani Twinkie before you.
no, oh Lord, right? I did. You're right, Jug. I did say that. That's what I said. It didn't have no smell. I'm gonna keep it funky. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna definitely keep it 100. But
Oh my god. Well, we shout out to this young lady because we like your bravery. I'm just saying it takes a lot of heart to just go pantyless and just sit on somebody's lap. It's just
I mean, she could, whoever they could have sat on my lap and just sat there. But it was all. It was like I said. It was the out of the blue.
oh wait. They could have sat on your lap and just sat there. That would have been okay. But it was the fact that she did too much.
Some women are aggressive at shooting their shot. Some people, some like, okay, I'm gonna let you know I want you, or I'm into you, whatever. That's cool with me. I'm cool with that. However, it was all the extras that went along with it. Because at first, like, it would be either way, it would have caught me off guard. Because, like I said, we weren't flirting. She was like 3, 4 rows, 5 rows back, however many rows was in that sprinter van. She was in the back of the sprinter van, came all the way to the front. Rudely scooted past 2 people. One of them she knew personally, and plopped down on me and started gyrating and start. I was like, "What the fuck it is?"
What do you think was happening? So in my mind, she was sitting in the back. Y'all were probably chatting and had laughing and keying in the front. And
You
she
would have
was like,
thought,
"The
right? You would
hell
have thought like,
with that? I'm going up there and I am making my
yeah,
mark."
you would have thought we were talking some shit. And I'm like, girl, I do this, I do that, and she was like, she thought about. It. I was like, oh yeah, watch this, and it came run her ass up there and sat. But it wasn't even like that though. It wasn't. We weren't even talking on the van or nothing, at that point or whatever. So it was
Y'all
like,
weren't talking
what?
on the van.
No, that was
Something was
not my
going down in the
girlfriend
van.
platform. That was not my girlfriend on no damn platform. It became a big
Listen,
storyline, but no, it was not.
Pretty Blue says she's dominant. She's like, listen, she saw Phil had a big pocket on him. Oh wow.
She
Pocket
ain't
or
seen I had
package.
nothing.
I'm just saying. I'm
She
just
couldn't have seen
okay.
I had nothing at that point. Yeah.
Listen, I feel y'all was calling
But
each other
anyhow,
after that. After he put her on, the airline register. J Man, let me find out where
shit.
she live.
Yeah, okay. Listen. I don't want no problems. I don't want.
Oh, pocket money. She saw him paying for stuff. Listen,
She ain't see me paying for
whew,
nothing at that point.
he had his per
I paid
diem. He
for a
was using
green
his little
tea.
per.
I paid for a green tea and a little biscotti from the store next to the what. That ain't no money. If that was
Maybe
what
it
got her
was for
wanting to be
her.
splurged, then okay. But no,
Maybe it was for her. That is hysterical. Listen, like I
they
said,
love
I
you
am
the
not
same.
mad at her. I am not mad at her, and I ain't mad at you either, Phil, because I don't
I'm
really
mad
know
at.
what I would do.
I'm mad. I feel violated, and then the problem is,
Lovely.
in some ways, I return to work every day after that happened too. If you want to be technical,
Did you cry though? Did you cry that night when you went home?
it was inside that I cried. It was inside that I cried. Listen. It made
I'm
me
done.
feel so bad about it too. Oh, you so and so, some of them, y'all was in on it. Y'all kept feeding into the bullshiggery.
She Wait, hold on. J Man is putting he is spilling all the tea. He got the pot right here. He's just like, Phil even
I
met her in
didn't
New
meet
York
her
after
in
the
New York.
show.
I came to New York as a part of a situation that was going on the
What?
platform. She was part. J Man, you know.
J Man was the road manager. He was there for all of it.
You
He's
know, he
the
sounds
witness and the testimony.
he
I
sounds
J
like a
Man.
surprise. He a surprise witness for the prosecution. What's going on, J Man? Not you.
He'd be like, J Man _2212. Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah, Dan. She wanted to when we got to the restaurant. She wanted a piece of my lobster. I was like, no. I said I'll
Oh
get
my
you your own,
God.
but no. I know,
I
J Man.
can't.
But
We
y'all bringing
love
back the trauma.
it.
Y'all bringing back the trauma of it all.
You'll be,
Listen,
you're gonna be crying inside after this show.
you hear
Yeah.
me? I'm I'm suffering from PTSD like a mug. You man. In between that one and then this other last one, listen, I'm traumatized. Just leave me alone.
I can not. First of all, I am so done. Listen, you know how it is when you're on a bus. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, Phil.
And this wasn't even public
Anything can happen.
transportation. This wasn't even public transportation. You expect some off the wall, not maybe that, but some kind of something depending on the bus line that you on. I know in DC on certain bus lines, you knew that it was going to be somebody off the hook on that summer movie, doing something
What?
crazy, talking their bullshit or something. It was always it helped the ride go long, especially at the long bus ride. But in this situation, we
Oh,
was leaving the venue and going to get something to eat.
but that was
You
your
think
girl,
that's
though, right?
Flashback.
That dance was something Philly. You paid for trips. No wonder they microwaves. Who's microwave soul? What is going on right now? Good morning, A
No, no.
kisses.
That's what's something you
Like,
paid.
oh wow, I missed all of this.
Listen,
And y'all said this is on video.
I'm
Is it
not
on
going there.
YouTube? Like, can I go back to
I'm
this? I
not.
need to see this.
No,
I need
that
to
one's
roll
not
the
on. That
video footage.
that one's not posted. Because I guess because of the nudity that was in it or whatever. But
So it's our OnlyFans. So I'm gonna have to pay a membership to see it. Oh man, I hate paying for memberships if I don't
only
have to.
nightmares. Only
Could
nightmares.
it be?
Only nightmares.
Could it be on Pornhub? What would it be under? Bus rider? What would it be under?
Listen,
Pornhub is
if
free.
if it would have been on Pornhub, it'd be number one. No, I'm just playing. Just playing.
No, it's not because I've
But
been on there and I did not see Big Phil or Blair. Just saying.
you
So
had
you
to
had a
you had
lot
to
of
name the girl name. You had to name the girl name.
their name in here. Their name in it. Blizzo. I mean, there's all kind of names flying. What's her? Okay, forget it. Beef Grease Hub. Exactly. That's where we could find it. Beef Grease
That
Hub.
was it.
100,000 views.
Yep, and it would be like girl in her punani twani juice all over poor man on the sprinter.
Oh no, that's a terrible title. I would never find that.
y'all
Ketchup
are
with no
y'all are
fries.
wrong. Y'all are
Y'all
wrong
are
for playing
dead.
with my pain like that. The microwave soul
Listen.
though, that was different. That hit different. Hey, LG definitely
Phil.
needed a lot of therapy after that. Still do. Look, y'all just broke it up and broke back memories. Memories running through my
Okay.
head.
Set you up. I didn't set him up. This was just a story. I if I had known, I would not have set you up. I definitely don't want to, you know, create any trauma. I was just
She's making
asking in
light
a
of my pain.
workplace situation.
She
I'm
segues.
not.
Sophia, have you ever been harassed or something similar? Somebody
I have
already here.
no idea.
Ask them about this. Ask them. I see the play. I watched it. I
Promise.
see what's
I
going
promise.
on with this bullshittery.
I promise.
They
I
told me
promise. I wouldn't do that to you, Phil. I would not do that to you. I promise. I would not want to. I would not want to resurface your trauma. And this
Why?
clearly was a traumatic event. I'm just-
And it was one of them traumatic events that kept on like
they just kept
kind of
bringing
like
it back.
playing itself out like a bad dream, but in real time. Help!
But with this crew up in here,
Help!
I
I'm
am
in
not
a
surprised.
sunken place with Punani and Twani all up in my face.
Is that a bad thing? I would say we're supposed to be more adventurous. I'm just like, what's the problem? Lovely Tink said she would have treated Phil better. See, they don't want the bold girls. They don't want the girls who are like, I'm clearly trying to claim you. They want the ones who's like, I don't
No,
want
no.
that nigga, neighbor.
Tink, Tink, Tink. Now, given all the antics that you saw,
Yeah, sure.
could you honestly believe that she would have treated me better? Let's be one hundo.
So wait a minute.
Feel
Who's
the
boiling
counseling
steaks
after
on the
this.
stovetop? Who?
uh,
Yeah, he is gonna. Who is boiling steaks on the stovetop?
the same person, Blair. She was on live on video boiling the steak. I'll be like, oh, your ass. Cook. Oh, you cannot cook.
I'm
Can you? Look,
done.
I'm not gonna keep mentioning her name. Let her lie wherever she's at. Let her lay. Let her.
First of all, all right. I'm about to change the subject because this is getting wild. Tink, I can't even with you right now. Okay, so let's talk about Jean Morant. As you know, he's just recently been resuspended. He was resuspended. He's now speaking out because of some video with him, with guns again. I don't know. This young man just seems to make poor choices, but he's now speaking out. Jean Moran is speaking out on the backlash he's facing over his second gun flashing scandal in 2 months, owning up to his actions and vowing to do better. I know I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me, Josh said in a statement on Tuesday. This is a journey, and I recognize there's more work to do. My words may not mean much right now, but I take full accountability for my actions. I'm committed to continuing to work on myself. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is clearly extremely disappointed with Jean Morant, saying he was shocked to see the Memphis Grizzlies star once again flashing a firearm on social media. The commission directly addressed Ja's latest incident before Tuesday's NBA draft lottery on ESPN, telling the network, "Honestly, I was shocked when I saw it this weekend. That video. Now we're here in the process of investigation." Silver admits the footage, which appears to show Ja holding a handgun while in a car with his buddy, is grainy. But given Morant's past, Silver said he's assuming the worst. The latest video comes just 2 months after Ja was seen holding a pistol on Instagram Live while in a Colorado strip club, an incident that resulted in him being suspended for 8 games. Silver says he's had a lengthy conversation with Ja after his first incident, when the commission making it clear to Moran why it's such a big deal and why the consequences are so severe. The commission says Ja seemed to be taking the first incident seriously, which is why he was so shocked to see him waving another gun around for the cameras. The Grizzlies suspended Ja from all activities pending the NBA's review, and it sounds like Silver will come down even harder on Morant this time. Why are we blowing millions of dollars to be seen as what, cool? I think from what I've read, there's some gang ties there, and I don't want to assume, and I don't know. I've heard so many stories, and I've talked to so many people about the fact that being able to be an NBA player is there's such a small window for that. There's millions of kids that play ball.
that
Oh,
want to be there.
very, 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 very tiny few get the opportunity to play on this level. And you have it. Why are you blowing it? Is it just immaturity? Is it influence? What are your thoughts?
Immaturity, entitlement, spoiled brat, suburban kid with a lot of money now. All a ticking time bomb that if he doesn't defuse it, it's going to go off and it's going to destroy his world. Um, People are quick to say, "Oh, he's a young man and he's going through changes and this, that, and the third." Good morning, gang. Good money, gang. GMG Lounge. Um, but if we
Mrs.
keep
Ryder
giving,
for sure. Savage. That's all I'm gonna say. Hashtag GMG, hashtag savage. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry, Phil. Go ahead. Good
if we
morning,
keep
established.
giving people outs, if we keep giving him excuses, he'll feel like, okay, I'm untouchable. Yeah, I can do what I want. Oh yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I might get a little smack on the wrist. I'm good. I got 200 million. I'm good. But when they start affecting that money and snatching that money away, and he don't have it, and there's other sanctions and other things, then it's like, oh, okay. But hopefully the young man get it together. Hopefully Ja get it together because he has a whole bright future ahead of him. You know, he needs to live up to his potential on the court and off the court because he got a lot of youngins that's looking up to him, and he got to show them a better way. And on top of it, he's not from that life. So yeah, there's been talks of him linking up with certain gangs or whatever now after he's a millionaire, more so than what in his growing up or whatever. But hey, it's the society we live in. It's a society. It ain't just him. It's all over the social media. Y'all are off the hook in these comments.
The comments are savage. I'm sorry. But entitlement is one thing. I get that. And I think that is such a big problem with our kids today. I think what saddens me is that the need to feel like you belong, or the need to feel like you have to please other people when you're that dude. You're that dude. People want to be you, especially the people who are hanging around you and want to pull you down. And so I really hope it doesn't come at the cost of his career, because he has, again, when you have that much talent, the window is so small for these people in this room, in that situation. It's like, why are you blowing it? For what? You're going to be like Franklin from Snowfall, where you had it all and now you're just a bum in the street getting kicked out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a really quick that situation. And I don't know who watches Snowfall. Do you watch Snowfall, Phil?
Yeah, I do. I don't like how they ended
Why
it
you why you saying so like
because
you just like yeah
it was hella dry and very like highly improbable that he would have went from that being one way all the way to where he ended up that fast. Um, it just seemed highly improbable, and I get it. They were trying to give a message, I guess, in the end, like he lived this life, the outcome that could happen with it, but it was so
it costs you something.
like microwavable. It's just the comments just keep talking about microwave. It's like they pushed it too fast, and I get it. The series was ending, but come on now. That's my take on it.
But
But
let me
Snowfall,
is it not true though that we've actually seen people end up like Franklin? Like we grew up
not
in
in
this
not
era.
in not in a few
We
months,
grew up no,
not in
it wasn't
months
a
like
few
that.
months. It wasn't in a few months. It showed it over like it said a couple of years later. I think it was years later after he fell
You
apart and
sure?
all of that stuff happened. Yeah. It was everything that happened, and then once his mom shot the agent, which to me was crazy. Why she did that, I don't understand. You know, I understand that you didn't agree with his life. Mind you, she actually played a big part in trying to clean up his money. So if you didn't want anything to do with it, you shouldn't have had anything to do with it. She went left when her husband got killed. And that's what made me mad. So you in your feelings now that your husband got mad, but you still have your son. So now she goes and she takes everything away from him because that's everything he had. Even though I kind of feel he could have rebuilt it, that's the part that I didn't like about it. The fact that they made it seem like if he wasn't slinging dope, he wouldn't have been successful again when he had already spent all this money on properties and making himself a legitimate businessman. And even the girlfriend was like, we could flip all of this, like, let it go. So that was the part I didn't like. But no, it was over a couple of years that he wound up being in that place. And we have seen people in that place who were on top and then today at the bottom, some to that degree, some not. You sit down and you talk to a homeless man and you listen to you actually hear his story. They're Franklin's out there.
All kinds of yeah. That part is true. Still, to me, it was escalated, but you're right. With the mama,
It was over years.
I think with the mama, she saw what the money and that life did to Franklin as a person,
Hmm.
and so she was trying to separate him from it, and in a way get some revenge back for what happened to her husband with the guy, or whatever. Because, but on the one hand, it's like I get it, but on the other hand, it's like what Franklin was saying, like you couldn't have waited to after them digits got sent, and then you could have sent them out of here. You couldn't have waited, but
I agree. I
who
agree.
would
If you're gonna set him up, if
who
you're gonna do that, who would have what? I'm sorry.
Mama saw yeah. No, I was reading the comment, but yeah, you who'd have known what he would have did if he'd have got that money? Who would have known?
Guess what? He
We
probably
could
would have came out with the outcome that you anticipated he would have came out with in terms of like he probably would have moved off, took his money, took his family, and kept it pushing. Y'all still on that microwave? Okay,
nah,
look at
I
look.
ain't even think. I'm not thinking about that no more. I'm past. Y'all tried it,
J
but
Mo.
it was
Well,
over the
listen,
years.
Jay,
Hey,
we were talking about Jay Morant. You know, I really hope you don't lose this opportunity. You're too young, and I think Tink put it in here and said, why are you even dealing with friends who are recording you doing this crap? Like even putting you at risk. This is supposed to be your people, and they're sitting here putting you and what you have going on at risk. Are those your friends? Like I
but
just don't understand it.
in this case, it wasn't like he was walking around with the gun in his hand or the whole time with the gun in his hand and his friend was filming him. They were on a live and they were turned up. You know, they was having a good time listening to music on a live.
Hmm.
He had turned it to Ja Morant a couple times. Ja Morant was, turned up gigging, doing him. He turned it away. It just happened to turn back and Ja had a gun in his hand. he flipped the camera real fast, like, oh shit, because he didn't know that was
Mm.
coming. There's a difference between look on my other phone. It was different. I'm with you. I'm be loving you up there rubbing your chin, and I'm like, look at her rubbing that motherfucking chin. Look
And
at
then
her.
you turn around, and then I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
all of
yeah.
this.
No. But like, say that's something illegal or something salacious or something, and
Right.
I'm just filming you. There's a difference between doing that or I'm just having to film. Look at my studio, y'all, and look at my lovely co-host, and all of a sudden you appear with something in your hand that shouldn't be in your hand, and then I like, oh shit, I wasn't. That's really what happened in this situation. So I think the friend in this
Got you.
situation should get a pass on this because he tried to come up off of it, and then when he came up off of it, he obviously said something to John Moran because when he turned back, John Moran had put it away. So he
Okay.
must have said like what you doing? Like use your head. And then when I
So
thought about it, because obviously John wasn't thinking.
so why not delete the video? Like, why still leave it up so that somebody could take it and reshare it? Because it clearly had to be on live, right?
But with the thing with lives, I know this all too well. People
I was
record
listen. You should be the live guru. Go ahead.
people record while you're live. So it was probably recorded as it was happening
Mm,
by somebody else that either not even looking for trouble, but just wanted, some footage of job, whatever the case may be, and they end up realizing that they caught a moment and put it back out there. I don't think the friend might have kept that up there. I don't think he
mm,
kept it up there, but
got you.
who
Wow.
knows?
And that's the thing about anything you do today is so exposed, especially like when somebody is recording.
Stop
It's like you
harassing me
have
for
to
that.
use. I'm not harassing him.
No,
He's
this
not harassing me. The live guru grew up. He is. He knows. You say yourself, okay, Des, you're not his lawyer. You are their witness yourself. My name is Des BX. I promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So I hope you
he McClain Davis from all the Ghost
okay.
Power Book too.
I will listen. I'm sure the Phil archives are quite interesting. But
What you talking? I don't know what you're talking.
exactly. Hello, HR. We need an HR department, y'all. For real.
Clear. Clear.
If it ain't my tardiness, it's Phil's raunchiness. We don't know what's going
I ain't
on.
raunchy. I'm not raunchy. I'm real, but I'm not raunchy.
Hey, listen, ain't nobody climbing on my lap for a lap dance. He had a phone in
They
my face.
just
Pretty
they
Blue's
just
gonna
waiting
be
to get make
HR's.
that beef grease. Is a difference, huh? Lap dance beef grease. Which one is worse? Lap dance beef grease. Which
There's
one is
nothing wrong with
worse,
beef
y'all?
grease. There's nothing wrong with beef grease. A lap dance you can keep, but there's nothing wrong with beef grease. Beef grease is good for your edges. Beef grease is good for your skin. That's what y'all said.
That's why you glowing like a mug. You glowing like a mug. Okay, okay.
I put it in a jar, put a little beef
Oh,
grease
like
in my hair. Yeah, see, some of them old lies. You would be in the comments with us too. I believe it. Now I kind of want to go back.
no, you
He's fresh
don't.
out the
No.
microwave. I need to see this microwave situation. I'm serious. There's nothing wrong with a little beef grease. It can moisturize your elbows. Beef grease is a
Oh,
multifunctional.
so you looking hella moisturized this morning. What's been going on?
Listen, no, it's not due to beef grease.
Look,
This
you
is this
got
is this is simply ponds this morning. It's just ponds. Anyway, because look at
Pond's
my edges.
cream.
They not
Is that what they're
look at
calling
look
it
at my
now?
yeah. No, it really is a
Pond's
cream
beef
called
grease
ponds.
queen cream.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Pretty Blue is HR. HR. She is not having it. I wanted to give a recap on Jamie Foxx. As y'all know, he's been off of the grid now
Mhm.
for weeks. I want to say almost 2 months. And people have been talking, but nobody's been saying anything. Nobody really knows what's going on with him. So his daughter, Corinne Fox, actually took to Instagram on Friday. She wrote an update She just basically got tired of people coming up with stuff. And so she basically took to Instagram on Friday, writing, "Update from the family. Sad to see how the media runs wild. My dad has been out of the hospital for weeks, recuperating. In fact, he was playing pickleball yesterday. Somebody gonna have to tell me what that is. Thanks for everyone's prayers and support." She continues, "We have an exciting work announcement coming up next week, too. Unclear whether or not Fox is doing any sort of rehab or physical therapy, which has been out there for a while too, that he's now in
Mm.
rehab while out of the hospital." And Corinne did not include any new pics of her dad in the post. Corinne's message comes on the heels of reports this week saying Fox's family was preparing for the worst, some even stating that he was on life support. TMZ broke the story last week. Jamie and Kareem were unable to perform their hosting duties on the Fox show Beat Shazam while he recovered, and she stayed by his side. Nick Cannon, which we had talked about, has taken over those duties until Jamie is healthy enough to return.
Free of
It's
charge at
been
that.
free of charge at that, which is
That's dope.
real love right there. Not that
That's
he
dope.
needs to check, but I'm just saying, I think it's dope. It's been over a month since Jamie was hospitalized in Atlanta for a medical complication. They still haven't seen the actor since the incident. Jamie, I hope you are recuperating and doing well. We shouldn't speculate. Like, we really don't know what is going on. And I've said it here. We've talked about this for the past few weeks. Nobody really knows what's going on. Nobody's speculating. We just hope that he does well. And I just wanted to say, good for them. And I actually think just recently they put out an announcement that him and his daughter were going to be, I think, getting back on the show. So it sounds like he's on his way to recovery. Listen, none of us are spring chickens anymore. We have to start taking better care of ourselves. We don't know
What
what
you
it is,
talking
but
about?
I'm just saying, we
I'm
don't
a
know what it is.
I'm a summer eagle. What you talking about?
A summer eagle, more like an old hawk.
Ah, the hate
A
is
summer
real.
eagle.
Ah, can I live? Damn it.
You living from what I heard.
What?
You are living your best sprinter life. So what are
Never.
you talking about? He is living his best.
I think in this situation, they really held this situation down properly when it comes to knowing and not knowing. The problem is Jamie Foxx is loved by many, right? Funny dude, inspirational dude, hella talented singer, actor, comedian.
Yes,
but
Serena, not a summer eagle.
definitely that. Not so bald eagle at that. But okay.
Like I said, more like an old hawk, but go ahead. Keep it moving.
Have it your way like Burger King. You hear me?
Get the beef grease
Anyway,
for them edges. She was looking for some beef grease, Phil, so she could put, instead of boiling her steak, she could fry her steak. But you ain't giving none up, so
they held it
that
down
was
like
funny.
a lot of people should do, as far as not letting people in on what's going on until it's necessary or they feel okay with doing so. But with
Mhm.
doing that leaves a whole lot of speculation of as to what went on, how severe was it, or is it? Are there lingering effects to whatever the case may be? Is he fully healed? Not so much. If he's going to rehab, then there's certain things that he's trying to better,
Right.
whether it's minor or major. With a stroke, if he did have a stroke, we know with sometimes with that, sometimes your one side just falls dead, so to speak. Like you won't be
Hmm.
able to move your mouth, the muscle in your mouth like that, or it's drooping. You might not have
Yep.
use of your extremity on that side fully or altogether. So we just need to keep continue to have that brother and other people, normal people as well, in prayer that go through
Yep.
things, whether we know what they are or don't know what they are. Um, and in due time, I'm pretty sure that he will surface and thank people for their support. You do have trolls and haters and things of that nature that run with the gossip and the rumors because it make for good content, not good content, but view worthy content, viral content, because people draw towards drama toxicity and bullshittery, real quick. More so over, a positive message. So people really, even though people want him to be better, even though people want to hear that he's doing good, people, I hate to say it this way, but people gravitate towards hearing that he's not doing so good.
Right. There are people out there who feed on the negative. And you're right. I'm glad that his family surrounded him for him like Voltron. Nobody said anything. They would know. Even the people who went to visit him, the friends, nobody said anything because they shouldn't. If you got something going on, it's private. And I think we people feel like you give up your privacy when you become an actor, when you become a musician,
Celebrity,
when you become any kind of celebrity. Like you have to give up your privacy.
public
And this
figure.
stuff that's going on, yeah. And it's like, no, there's some things that are still mine, and I want to hold my own. And so, his family handled it the way that they were supposed to. And like I said, we're praying for you, Jamie. You're such a talent. Just get back to work
That
when you
part.
can. And if you can't, guess what? You got more than enough money to live your best life for the
Yeah.
rest of your life. So he was playing. What the hell is pickleball? I don't want to
Pickleball is
really look
somewhere
it up, but
between tennis and badminton. Somewhere in between
okay.
tennis and badminton. Like it's a racket, but it's a smaller, I think wider racket. Like somewhere in between tennis, badminton, and ping pong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it's
Okay.
like a shorter, bigger paddle, and etc.
Pickleball is tennis. Okay. Well, if he's playing pickleball, then clearly he's okay or doing better. Whatever. J-Man says Hollywood is fake. I say he was cloned and they're playing with us like Damar Hammond. These people's not here anymore. Listen, I'm not even mad at you with the clone situation because you have to really look at some things and be like, this is not okay. This is not okay. But yeah, good for him. Um y'all are crazy. I'm still on the microwave thing. All right. I just
And Brute, and two Brute.
I'm just I'm okay. Like Phil,
I
like
know
how
what
do
it is.
you feel?
She's having her
Think
get
she's
back
like
moment.
playing.
That's what this.
I
I
mean, this is
like,
just
man.
hysterical
I,
because to your point, like, when you how does everybody know this happened? Like, was somebody live in this at the time? How did they know? How does
it was
everybody
talked
know?
about instantaneously, basically. Within the next day, it was talked about on the platform, and eventually the footage was shown. Because after a minute, the person was trying to deny that it happened and was talking all kinds of stuff. It was like, no, but yes, you did all that and then some. And just so happened, one of the people that was part of the staff and cast or whatever had the footage and said, no, girl, you did everything and then some. Here you go. And they played it, and people got to see the bullshit because it sounds one way when you just hear me talk about it or hear somebody else talk about it, but when you actually put footage behind it, it says no.
That's
That's
what I'm talking about. Like,
exactly
if
what
I
happened.
want to get that's why you can't even get your freak on these days. Like, I want to get my freak on. I want to just do something, but you never know who has a camera out. You never know who's ready to record. I got the footage. If you don't shut the hell up about it and get your damn camera out my face, let me get my freak on in private. The
But how
hell?
private was it? It was a bus, Sprinter. It was
It
at
wasn't
least
the
12 to
club.
15 people. It was like 12 to 15. I think 12 people in there. 12 to 15
I'm
people was playing tickle ball.
Y'all ain't ish. That's all I'm
Help
gonna say. Y'all, I ain't never
me.
letting my slut show a show.
I am
Thank
traumatized
God.
this morning.
I'm
HR,
just saying.
wherever you are, I need you. I
She's
am being sexually
HR.
harassed. Hold on. Now, let me keep it a buck. I don't wanna make light of people that actually really are harassed. I don't. I don't want to be said that we started off talking about the possibility of sexual harassment and made one big joke out of it. Because it's not.
Right,
It's
right.
definitely a serious thing, and sometimes it gets real violent and real
One
bad for some
second.
people.
It does.
I was harassed though, but I don't feel violent. I mean, I'm on the fence with the violation, but you know,
What part of it
it is.
wasn't violation? Just what part of it? I just want to be clear about what part wasn't a
It goes
violation,
into
so
what I
we
was
know
saying
what
earlier
not to
about
do.
it just goes no, it goes into what I was saying earlier about men looking at and handling situations a little bit differently than say a woman. Because guess what? If it was you sitting in that chair and some random man that you don't know just came out, plop down on you, start gyrating on you, you gonna
I'd
feel
be like,
away.
if you
Whether
don't
you
get your sweaty balls out my face and get the hell up off of me,
no, you will.
that's not what I'm
You
gonna
be
need
like,
you to do.
beef,
No, no, I would not. I don't know where that beef been. No, thank you. If I did not pull that beef out the fridge myself, I am not interested. No, no. If I did not see that beef come out the fridge myself, we are a no go. No, thank you.
y'all could have been
Everybody
on
ain't
the
all
like,
clean.
we are the world.
No, you gonna be worldless. Keep it up. You about to lose your world if you come over here with that bullshiggery, as Phil says. Now at that point, be love, you got to take a day with some popcorn and get caught up. Yes, it apparently I need to
No,
catch the
she don't.
reruns.
There's a lot that's
No,
not there no more. Thank goodness. Thank
I
goodness.
need the reruns, the popcorn, a little tequila. DC Mumbo said, "Relax,
Good morning, gang.
relax, and
Hey,
get the beef grease." DC Mumbo, like, what
hey,
are you
homie.
saying exactly?
Lord,
What are you
Lord,
saying
Lord.
exactly?
You feel me? Y'all coming over here to YouTube.
Yeah, we are not, let's be very clear, we are not making light of sexual harassment in any sense of the word at all. We're just making light of Phil's situation, which he has clearly said that he has been impacted by, traumatized by, even sought therapy for. So we have to start. There are certain words that are not allowed to be used on this show. Microwave is one of them. Lap dance is another, and sprinter is for real off the list. Sprinter, lap dances, and microwave. Done and done, Phil. HR has deemed this song no dirty ball. Yeah.
Listen, I,
Ooh, Keisha. So we're gonna get into Ask Good Morning Gang, and then we will get into that topic, Keisha Hall, because DeSantis has been signing off on quite a few bills that are quite interesting in terms of what he's doing out there. And this is a future president. So oh shoot. J Man, how much those DDs going for? How much them CDs? Okay.
39.99.
I want my cut. As his manager, I want my cut. And
Hey, Night
Evolution
Rider,
needs
you listen to Night
hers.
Rider?
How about crab legs? No boiled steak. These are all trigger words for Phil.
Help me.
All of it was violation. Men don't want to feel weak or less than a man. That's why they don't say anything about it. But that kind of raises the question because some men, while Phil didn't like it, some men would have been okay with it. We talk about this all the time. What man one man is not okay with, there's somebody that's okay with. She was shooting her shot. Was it appropriate in the way that she did it? Not by some of our standards, but by for some other people's standards, it was okay. She was showing him she
I
was
think
clearly interested, or at least
I,
wanted some beef grease. She
I
was
think
trying to
she was
get beef
clout.
grease for her steak. That's all I'm
I think she
saying.
was clouting to be 100. I think she was clouting. I think she was because, like I said, you got to
Cause
make
let
it
me
make sense.
find out. Cause let me find out
In
you the
the
president and
amongst
on the low low, and I didn't know. She clout chase for what numbers?
no,
Like
I'm just
likes for
saying because you
what?
do it in front of a whole van of people, a whole sprinter van full of people. It wasn't like you know what I'm saying. I was in a room and she happened to come in the room, be like, "Boy, I've been eyeing you all day. Watch this." You know what I'm saying? It wasn't one of them situations. It really wasn't.
And I
We
think that's the thing. If we take you to trial, like you wouldn't even be a good. I couldn't represent you because you didn't say that you didn't enjoy it, as Des says. You said you just didn't enjoy that it was in public. That's what you said.
no,
You
I said
said
I
if it
would
was one
have
on one,
appreciated it if it. I would have. However, it just gave off a different. It was
it
just.
was okay. So
I
just
don't.
so
I
you
don't. I don't.
know,
I don't know if it
just so
was just
you
a
know,
good time. I don't
ladies,
know what it was, Jug. To be honest, I'm gonna keep it a buck. But no, not to belittle her wherever she is. You know, it is what it is, and it was what it was. It wasn't what it wasn't. However, you know, success to her wherever she is. Um, we just speaking about a encapsulated moment in time, uh,
Mm.
with something took place, and y'all are making
When you
light of my traumatization. Yeah.
where it can be viewed for $39.99. Hit up J Man behind the scenes. He got the DVDs, the CDs, and the flash drives, y'all. I'm gonna be putting my order in shortly. J Man, make sure I get my cut. Let's move on. Dear Good Morning Gang, we're going into the Good Morning Gang. Dear Good Morning Gang, I've been dating a wonderful man for 2 years. He has two grown children, 27 and 21. Both have good jobs and work full time. I have a son who's 12. The issue is family vacations and paying for things while on vacation. I feel that since his children are adults, they should help pay for meals, lodging, and activities. I'm not saying pay for the entire bill, but throw in $20 for a meal or even offer to pay for something. Don't just expect him or me to pay because it's a family vacation. My 12-year-old paid for his meals on his own because he thinks it's cool. It made him feel responsible and like an adult. We took a vacation with his 21-year-old, and not once did she offer to pay or even say thank you. We get into arguments about this before vacations. I know they're not my kids, but what he's teaching them is that dad will always pay for everything, even when the families have their own, even when they have families of their own. Please advise. Well, the reason your 12-year-old wants to pay his own bills is because right now he doesn't understand that one day he will be like, I wish I was 12 again and I would have let my mama pay my bills. I do. I want to go back home and live in my room with my parents and have them pay my bills. I do. I for sure do. Um, just saying. Um,
She
this is a
believed that her
tough
son
one.
could kick in on a bill at
The
12.
grown no, she's saying that the kids one kid is 29, his kids are 29 and 21, and every time they go on vacation they never chip in on
Oh,
anything.
I got you now. I missed that part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's saying that the 12-year-old her 12-year-old thinks it's cool to pay for his own bill. It makes him feel like an adult. So I'm saying, it's yeah, he feels that way now because he ain't got no damn bills. It's okay for him to pay his little $20 for his, you know what I'm saying, vacation. But when your ass got rent and all these other things, car notes and all these other things, trust me, I myself just had dinner with my dad a few months ago. He came in from Vegas to see me, and anytime we go to dinner, very rarely do I pay. And it's not because I have an expectation that my dad is going to pay. That's how my dad is.
Get down.
Now,
Yeah.
if I there are times where I'm like, no, dad, I got it. I'm treating you, and he's grateful for it and he appreciates it. Sometimes he'll allow me to do it, sometimes he won't. But for the most part, this is how my dad gets down. However, if we're doing a family vacation, we have to contribute. Or from my side, we have to contribute, all of us, because there's a lot of us. It's expensive, and it's not fair for one person or two people to take on the cost of everybody else's fun.
But
That's my thing.
let me say this because it sounds like and I get your point to that, and I get that point. But it kind of lightweight sounds like she might be a little bit hate. It's like she's hating that the dad is spoiling or doing for his children or whatever, no matter what their
Right.
age is. And her maybe sound like because she's a single mom, she teaches her son to be a little bit more responsible and independent in that light, maybe out of necessity more so than out of you know trying to teach him independence. Maybe because mommy don't have it or whatever. And she might be looking at it like that could be money going to me. That could be this, that, and the third. They grown. Why you still? It's a rock and a hard place because I got children that are older, over the age of adulthood or whatever, and I still do for like my daughters. I still do for my daughters. I still do this and that and
Mm-hmm.
the third and such.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes I be thinking like I'm not doing nothing else for y'all ass. And other times like daddy got it, daddy got you, daddy will make sure you good. Woo woo woo. So it's like it's a double edged sword. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think for sure it's nobody's business how you decide to do what you do with your kids. I'm in the same boat as a mom. I'm like, if if my kids, my daughter is grown, she has a home man, she has two kids, and if she needs something, I'm still doing it. I don't care. I'm her mom. Like, and if I have it, it's nothing for me to do it. When it comes to vacations and stuff like that, it's just like, all right, I got this. Y'all got that. We make it clear. But whatever I do when I get there, that's on me. I wish an MFO would come to me and be like, you shouldn't. And I would be like, yeah, and you shouldn't be telling me what to do. That's where we have a problem right now because these are my kids. And I would never tell a man to do that either.
Just their finger. You see?
I'm just saying
Only thing
that,
she be doing is that.
I wish somebody would come and tell me what to do with my kids. These are my kids. And we may never even be together again. We could break up in 6 months. And here I am making my kids feel some kind of way because you felt some kind of way. Yeah, I'm good on that. I think you need to mind your business. I think you need to concern yourself with your son. And if it's an issue for you, then don't go on vacation with them. Go on
and,
vacations with you and your man.
and now, if the man has vented to her,
Sorry.
Ebola.
Sorry, went down the wrong pipe. Pause. Go ahead.
Beef grease down the wrong pipe. Okay, I get it.
I'm right
But as
here.
I
I'm
was
right
gonna
here.
say, if the father vented to her and said these little niggas ain't trying to do nothing, they grown and they spending all their money on this and that and the third, and then she formulates her opinion out of that, then I get it. I get it,
Right.
and he's wrong for that because you kind of opened the door for for uh for opinion or whatever the case may be, and so I see both sides of it. I do see both sides of it, but generally, like you said, it's up to the parent. If the parent so chooses to do a family trip and decides to pay for their children to go, or whatever the case may be, so be it. Long as it don't affect your time, you're having a good time or whatever, then what's the problem? If that's what they want to do. If the father's being taken advantage of and he's voiced it and this at the third, then I see where you at, and yeah, something need to give, something need to change. He can't keep doing that if that's what he's feeling about what his kids, the grown kids, are doing. You got to get on one side of the fence or the other. But other than that, like be love, say mind your goddamn business. You hear me?
Yeah, for sure. But let's even get into that a little bit. Like, even when somebody shares with you when you're in a relationship, right? When you're in a relationship, you don't really like to share certain things because you don't want to put other people in that light. And we could talk about that too, Des, because we were so raised like soon as you 18, you either going to college, you want to get a job, you either going to school or you getting a job to get up out of here. And it's one of the things that really impacts us as a community. Why not wait? Why not give them the opportunity to get themselves in a financially stable situation so that they can now go out and buy their first home? We pushing them out to go get an apartment and spend money on rent and all of these other things to take care of other people's, make sure they have their generational wealth instead of saying, hey, send home. You have to be financially responsible. Don't get it confused. You're not up in here blowing your money on Gucci and Louis Vuitton and they paying no bills, and you're not
Or
saving towards any
rainbow or
goals.
anything.
Or,
A
exactly,
whole lot
any
of
of those
less.
things,
Yeah.
Jordans, whatever the
Nah, nothing.
whatever
Yeah.
the fix is. But if you have a financial goal and you're like, hey mom, I want to buy a house in a few years, and I need this amount of money and this is where I need to be, I don't have a problem with supporting that goal. I really don't. I don't have a problem with you being here as long as you follow the rules of this house, i.e. keep it clean, i.e. don't be rude, no loud music playing, just certain things, whatever it is in your house. But why are we not supporting each other in that way instead of pushing them out, and now they're paying somebody else's rent to secure their financial future? That's just, again, my opinion. It's one of those things that kind of separates us when we look at, first of all, I know Asians who live all in the same house. There's about 50 of them living in the same house, but they have stores. They have, you know what I'm saying? They have investments that are bringing them in money. They have their own businesses. I know Jamaicans, you open the door, they falling out the door. You like, how many people live in this little ass house? But they had, they stick together. Indians stick together. Another thing that I have issue with is, why do we have to be poor to be sound? And what I mean by that is, just because my kids wear a certain amount of clothes, certain clothes, or drive a certain car, and I'm not talking about mine per se, but I'm just saying, we're so used to having this not wealthy mentality, that it's like when our kids have nice things, it's like, well, how did this teenager get this? Or why does my kid have to be poor to be down, if that makes sense? Why
Mhm.
can't they be wealthy? Why can't they wear what they want to wear? Why can't they live in that mentality of not lack? So it's just strange to me. Shout out to the live. Thank you, Watchman. He don't pay it back. He works. He has a place, but I felt like I failed him by putting him on online school.
Online school.
My son dropped out of school in 11th grade. I told him I would pay for his school, and it was for it. So if he didn't go through with it, he had to give the money back, and he finished. Yeah, no, Trina, you know me. I'm down with the Marshalls and the TJ Maxx. I'm just saying, why does it always seem like if our kids have more than what we had or what people had growing up, it's like they're entitled or they're spoiled? Why do we have this mentality of like living in lack? You can be budget friendly. You can be, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, clothes are disposable. I don't even want to wear the same thing more than a few times. So yeah, I don't mind going to Marshalls, and I said it, TJ Maxx, Target, any of those stores. Especially, let me get a little summer dress on sale for $15. That's a win for me. But at the same time, if I want to wear the Balenciaga t-shirt or the whatever Louis Vuitton sneakers, I shouldn't be looked at like you trying to do too much. There's nothing wrong with thinking and feeling wealthy. And we
Not
come
at all.
from a place where we're taught, where it's just like, oh, you doing too much. No, I'm doing what I want to do. And we've had these discussions. I've had this discussion with Miss Pink behind the scenes, because I've at times come across in a certain way because I do like nice things. And my thing is, the same way I like nice things, I like things that don't cost a lot. I just like nice, well, I like what I like. But I shouldn't be judged by the fact that I like certain things. And we shouldn't be judging our kids or making them feel like they should be judged because they like nice things, especially if you're working for them. If you're doing your own thing and you're working, and your goal is to get a house, and your goal is to get a car, and you're on track for whatever those goals are, you're paying your. I bought my youngest son his first car. When that broke, me and his dad bought him his first car. When he went broke, I'm sorry, I bought him his first car. When that went to the wayside, me and his dad chipped in on a second car for him. He was in his 20s. He had a car when he was 17. It wasn't new. I got him a little Lincoln Navigator. I just happened to find a good deal on it.
Just
He
a
was going off to
little
college.
leg in that.
Yeah,
Just a little.
yeah, I'm just saying, it was a hoopty, to be honest with you. It was nice, but it was old. It wasn't anything. But I didn't want my son getting on the school bus at the age of 17. I wanted him to understand that you have value, and that you now, let me give you some independence. Now you have your car. Go get a job. Go start paying for your own insurance. Go start doing the things that make you responsible. But it kind of seems like we look down on that sometimes. And I'm just saying, when you think about it,
That's a
let's
fact.
think about how to make them better and how to help them grow in a wealthy way, and stop this damn struggle of living in renting other people's houses. And it's okay to go buy a little $4,000 car. You don't have to have a car note with a high interest rate. And you know what I'm saying? Be more smart about money, I guess is what I'm saying.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
he was thankful, established 78. And at the end of the day, all I'm trying to teach y'all is I want to put you on a path to independence. That's what I want to do as a parent, even if I can't, because I'm the whole. And let's be very clear, y'all. I used to, for a long time, when I worked at corporate America, I had really big insurance policies on me, at least $1 million worth of insurance. I would always tell them I'm more dead to you than I am alive, which is not true. But today, y'all gonna have some money to bury me and maybe a little chump change to party. But what I'm not doing is leaving y'all rich. Why? You
Hey
need to
man.
understand how to make yourself rich. Because here's what I know, I can leave you $1 million and you will blow it. Why? Because you have never earned anything on your own. You don't understand the value of a dollar. You don't understand what it is to make it happen. And so I'm trying to find the balance of not doing too much, but not doing enough.
Well, you could, as part of a provision in a will, say that I bequeath and leave you uh, X amount of money and insurance policies. However, a prerequisite of getting them is that you have to take financial literacy courses and or, you know,
Yes.
financial management courses to ensure that you know what you're doing with them. You could do that, and because you hear about it all the time where you have to complete college or you have to do this in order to get your inheritance, et cetera, et cetera. It's
Mm-hmm.
one way to do it, but it. I agree with you. One, we gotta get in the right mindset. There's nothing wrong with wanting and wearing nice things and things with certain name brands, et cetera, et cetera. I think what some people, especially in our communities, get it jacked up is we put more value in that than what really is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be valuable, i.e., tangible assets, a house, property, land,
Mm-hmm.
insurance, investments, things that could uh, pan out well for our children and our children's children. Whereas a lot of us will wear it on us and it's not in us, if that makes sense.
Right.
We'll
Right.
overly go out our way to look the part, but not trying to live out the part and be the part. And
Right.
if you have a different mindset where you know what it means to be wealthy and are working towards it, and you want to dazzle yourself up with this designer, that designer, have at it. Especially
Right.
if you know it's in your budget. You work hard, you play hard, but at the same time, part of your working hard is ensuring that the financial aspect of your portfolio is superb or as
Yeah.
close to as possible. So, I
Or
say have at it.
maintaining that lifestyle. Maintain that lifestyle. It's okay if you want to do it whenever you do it, but be able to do it all the time. Not just have a quick hit because you got your tax return and now you balling out, and now for 3 months you that nigga, and then for the rest of the year you not. Like, there has to be a balance. And I see
That
you, Des, because I think that's another thing my father used to always say. Des says, shit, if I die, my kids and my wife for good. Sometimes I look at them different while I'm eating. Nobody else is looking at me eat. And my father used to say the same thing. He's like, I'm out here making sure everybody else is okay. What happens when I'm not okay? And you have to. I think it's about teacher education. I know when we were growing up, we used to get a little allowance or your little birthday money. First thing you want to go do is go spend it on some candy. Go spend it
candy or
on some
stuff.
sneakers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are we teaching them to be like, all right, well, if you put this $20 into this IRA today for your birthday, and by the time you're 23, 25, you're going to have a few $1,000 in the bank that you can go buy that house with? Like, are we having those conversations with our kids? And because it's too hard, they just want to go. I'm missing. I want to blow it too. Trust me. I wish I had that unlimited bank account. I'd be swiping my card like there's no end to it. Then I look at my damn account. I'm like, I only got $7.54. Heifer. Look at look at everything that you were swiping. And so you have to just remember and remind them that money is not limitless, especially when you're looking at unless money is limitless. If you have it and you have it like that will never be Blue Ivy's issue. Never. That will never be Cardi B's kids' issue. Them swiping, and she even talks about being conscious about money because she's
Yeah,
like, I
you have
didn't
to.
have it. You
Yeah.
know.
And
Yeah, but
what's
then you
funny because
need.
I had one family member, right, for Christmas, for birthday, whenever she came to town, she would always bring me a gift, and her gift would be silver dollars, silver dollars and
Okay.
silver half dollars. And
It's Keisha.
when you're younger, you think, oh, I can go to the store and get some candy, like you said, or get some snacks or whatever. But it was like, no, you hold on to these. These will
Mm-hmm.
gain value. So in some light way, in my immaturity, I was still taught, you know, to value certain things beyond the look of it or the actual what you can do with it right now. To actually
Right.
hold on and save it because this is going to turn into being worth more money down the line. And she did that since I was damn near I can remember. You know what I'm saying? Up until, a point where it got to where, she got up in age sickly, and couldn't,
Mm-hmm.
do certain things or
Do
whatever.
it
But
anymore.
I appreciate it in hindsight. When you little, you ain't understand. Well, I can't go to this door. The corner store
Man,
right
listen. That
there.
corner
I
store
want
man
this.
couldn't wait to take your little silver dollar. How much candy you want, little boy? What you want? The whole thing? He knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He knew what you didn't know. And it's I think that's crazy too, that people take advantage of those opportunities with little kids instead of saying, you know what? You don't want this candy, little boy. Go and take that money back home. But
Take
what
it
I
back.
did get out of this is that Phil got a stash somewhere.
I don't say nah. I don't say nah, Phil. I'm broken in a joke. You hear me?
Right, hear you tell it. Um, but yeah, I think, and I just we wanted to talk about that because, first of all, we still are working on Wealthy Wednesdays, still figuring out ways to talk about money with you guys because it's important. And, we have a few leads into some people that we want to come in and co-host on Wednesdays to talk about money, talk about financial literacy, things like buying a house, but don't be so quick to push them out the door. If we send them out with the right
Like,
purpose
get
and
out.
and the right, it's, I've been there like, if you don't get your
Yeah.
ass off my sofa, get out. You gotta hit 'em with the exorcist, get out. um, but just okay. There's that thought. So let's go to Florida. DeSantis's Governor DeSantis signs a controversial law called the law Don't Say Gay. Public school teachers in Florida are banned from holding classroom instruction about sexual orientation or gender identity after Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis, a Republican, signed the controversial Parental Rights in Education bill. The bill, which some opponents have called Don't Say Gay, was signed by DeSantis on Monday. It reads, classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. Supporters of the legislation say it's meant to allow parents to determine when and in what way to introduce LGBTQ topics to their children. It also gives parents an option to sue a school district if the policy is violated. During a press conference ahead of signing the law, DeSantis said teaching kindergarten age kids that they can be whatever they want to be was inappropriate for children. He said
Mm.
it's not something that's appropriate for any place, but especially not in Florida. He is putting the gorilla down out there. The Don't Say Gay moniker comes from critics of the measure who blast this idea and insist this policy will hurt LGBTQ children. DeSantis and other supporters gathered for the bill signing called this messaging sloganeering and referred to efforts to educate students about LGBTQ issues as part of woke gender ideology. Let's talk about that on Friday, woke gender ideology, because it's bigger than this bill right here. Studies have shown that LGBTQ youth already face higher health and suicide risk than their cisgender or straight peers. When those kids are given access to spaces that affirm their gender identity, they report lower rates of suicide attempts, according to the Trevor Project.
Mm.
Um, and there's more to it, but I think we get the gist of it. And he said kindergarten through grade 3 or any age that's appropriate, that's technically appropriate, which is all debatable. They don't have the right to talk about any kind of sexuality when it comes to kids from kindergarten to age 3. To be honest with it, they shouldn't. With me, to be honest with you, they shouldn't be talking about it at all. Now, I understand that there are kids who are not being heard and they feel a certain way, and maybe they can't go home to their parents. And I understand that they're confused about who and what they are, but I feel like that's where they need to go to their parents or go to someone
Mm.
that you can trust that can help you figure this out. I've been seeing TikToks where there's teachers having all kind of drag shows in the school. There's teachers. There's
Mm,
this book that actually speaks about sexual, every kind of act. It's in a book. It has pictures, and they're promoting it to fourth graders. This is what homosexuality looks like. This is what heterosexual sex looks like, and it has pictures
that's
in it.
crazy.
Who are you to tell my kid that if you're confused, let's talk about it and let me? It's not your place. Teach ABCs, one, two, threes, red, yellow, blue, and green, and stay in your lane.
She said red, yellow, blue, and green.
What the hell
You know,
is happening with these people? And so when he is very off the rails, DeSantis is off the rails, I can't disagree with him.
he is off his rocker with a lot of things, but with this one, he's on point. Like, should no child in kindergarten or kindergarten to speak properly be exposed to any sexual activity or sexual thought of self or with anybody else at that age? What are you condoning? What are you implying in doing such? That you should have sex before marriage, that you should have sex as a child and or young adult, etc., etc. Should no child be learning nothing like she said with ABCs, one, two, threes, and other things, age appropriate. Older, a little bit older, okay, I can get it, but not age kindergarten through the third grade. Excuse me. Most kids don't even really think about liking each other even at the third grade level. They are some that, ooh, that's my girlfriend, or I like her, da da da. But they don't know what the hell they want or what they don't want at that age. So why is it so important to tell somebody at that young of an age what is okay and what is not okay when it comes to sexual identity, sexual orientation, and or activity? It just does not make sense. And you have a lot of people that's of that community that are against it because they feel
Hmm.
like the kids should not be taught any of it, whether it's traditional, normal way of what we think about what sex is and gender is, or alternative lifestyle and or gender roles, whatever. All that crap don't mean nothing to no kindergarten kid. Kindergarten kid want to
Right.
play, want to have fun, want to enjoy being a kid. Let them do that. They're going to learn about it, whether it be taught in school or not, in due time, from social media, from a lot around them. Period. Let them be as innocent as possible for as long as possible. There's
Yes.
nothing wrong with that. And that's the way things were intended to be. The children are innocent vessels. Allow them to be as such. Let them play. Let them learn what hopscotch is, what jacks is, what tag is, what, you know, uh,
Go play rope.
star,
Go play soccer.
uh,
Play.
soccer.
Be a kid.
Man, listen.
But you know what it is? I think this is people's old, I think this is people's trauma, their childhood traumas that they are now pushing onto these kids. Well, nobody allowed me to feel like this. Well, I couldn't say anything back when I was your age. So there are people who are actually growing their kids up. They're non-binary. They're not, first of all, I hate to be this person when I say if you're born with male parts, you're a man, a male. If you're born with female parts, you're a male. The only people to me that get to feel a little bit like they don't really
Hermaphrodite.
know which way to go, that's it.
Yeah.
Other than
Ab-
that, you are what you are. Listen, I wanted to play Barbies. I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll. I went through all of these phases of different toys, and then I didn't want to play with toys. One day I wanted to be a doctor. One day I wanted to be a damn
mm,
veterinarian. Veterinarian.
not
Like you change.
veterinary.
A veterinary. Yes, that in charge of, you as a kid, you don't know what you want. And it's just our job to give you the most healthy environment and the safest environment to feel like, like if you want to cook, here's a kitchen. If you want to be a doctor, get you a doctor set. If you want to be a musician, get you a piano. And I've done this with my kids. My youngest son is he's very art like. He loves music. So from a young age, I got him a drum beat, the drum machine. I got him the keyboards, guitars. You want to do something, nigga? Go play a guitar. Go figure out some notes. Every good boy does fine. I don't know, like just go do something. Oh Lord, was that a guitar? Because it was looking a little.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's like encourage that. But to come to me and say, I don't know, I don't like who I am today as a boy, so I want to be a girl, just doesn't make sense to me, or vice versa. And then you have these doctors who are jumping on it because they can't wait to pump this kid full of drugs. They
The
can't wait
medication
to get
things, yeah.
get paid to change body parts and do all of this other stuff. It's crazy. And this is why I go back to we need to be on our parenting job, have those open relationships and conversations with our kid. When you go to school, let me tell you something. The craziest thing we had to deal with at school was health class. When they started talking about when girls got their period and how to put a
Cycle and
condom on.
stuff.
That was the craziest part. We don't want to hear about menstruation. We don't want to see the banana with like we were just like, this is we don't, but we understood that somebody had to talk about it because everybody wasn't talking about it at home.
And they
And
presented
now
it at the fifth, sixth grade, I think,
when
minimally. I
your little
think they did.
hormones started flaring up and they were like they starting to
Yeah,
feel them.
yeah, they wasn't doing it at kindergarten and first grade and all this other dumb stuff. It's like, come on now, like,
When they knew that you were going through this change. And I agree, Keisha. And then they have the nerve to call us cis women and cis. Listen, I
and
am a
what does that
woman. I
stand
don't
for?
need.
CIS.
It's
What does it
supposed to.
stand
It's supposed to mean what you were born as. So whatever your original gender is,
for?
that's what I believe cis is. I think we talked about it last week. And
How
my
about
thing
natural
is,
man,
you
natural
don't
woman,
have right. You don't have to
born a
put
man,
anything in
born a
front
woman?
of me. Thank you. But this is what I'm saying. They will put a term in front of something to validate their point.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm saying is now we have to have the conversation with our kids about when you go to school, they're gonna be shooting a whole lot of crap about this and that. If you feel any way, come to me. Come to me. I understand it's not a comfortable conversation, but come to me and
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it because they don't care about you. I'm your mom. I'm your auntie. You know what I'm saying? I'm whoever. I'm grandma. I'm whoever it is that's in your life having this conversation. Nobody cares about you more than me. So
That's a
you need
fact.
to understand that there is an open doorway here for us to figure that out. And I also think that none of these kids should be allowed to make any changes or anything to their body. You want to pass a law, you can't do anything until you're 21. You need to go through some really intensive therapy. I need proof. I
Because
need proof.
there's people that are speaking out that have had these surgeries and these post-op surgeries and they regret it, and it's like it's not what they thought it was going to be, and or their life hasn't altered in the way that they wanted it to, and it's like people need to hear more of them stories from people from that community who have actually
Yep.
went through with certain surgeries and done certain things so that they can get an adequate um, take on both sides of the coin to decide, okay, is this something I want? And yes, they should have therapy first to find
Yeah.
out where their head is at in doing this. Are they ready for what comes after this and the possibilities that come out? It, it's just the state of the world we're in. It's a lot of
I agree.
bullshittery, foolishness, and other things. And I'm just saying, anybody's entitled to live their life, but as an adult, you have the free will to do so. Not as a child. As a child, you should be under the authority of your parent. Um, your wisdom, your knowledge, your grasp on things is a lot less mature, a lot less responsible as a child. When you become adult, guess what? You want to go pierce something, have at it. You want to go mutilate something, have at it. You want to go jump off a canyon or something in daredevil mode, have at it. It's your responsibility. You will reap what you sow in that, good, bad, or indifferent. So
Hmm.
to bring the plane in, a person should definitely be of sound mind and be as an adult to make these type of decisions. And parents, we need to stop pushing, because some of the parents aren't so much supporting their child as they are pushing what they want for their child on them. In some cases,
Yep.
not all cases, but some of them fantasize like they wish they had this or wish they had that. And they push that through on that child or whatever, and it's been seen. And that's a sick place to be in. We need to think about these things.
Yeah, for sure. And Keisha, I agree. I agree with DeSantis on this. And I also agree with the fact that there are so many other things that these kids have to worry about at home. People think, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And, school is a refuge for some kids. School is a place, an outlet. They should not have to go to school and be subjected to your point of view on sexual orientation. It's not your place. It's like homegirl earlier. The kids don't want to pay. Mind your business. If we walk away from anything with today's show, mind your damn business.
Mind your business. Not
That's
business,
it.
business.
Business.
That part.
And stay in your lane. That's what we need to do.
Y'all see me on the
Understand.
sprinter, mind your business. I know.
So, J Man, I'm gonna shoot you my address. What you take? Cash App, Zelle, Venmo? What you got? Send it over
What?
to me for your video. For the
Oh,
Sprinter video.
there is
A
no
night in a
video.
Sprinter. That's
There
what we
is
gonna
no
call it.
video. It's all alleged. Like, let me stop.
The night in the Sprinter, starring Phil Speaks.
One night only. What's the deal?
Yo, I
Trust
can't.
me, it
Mind
ain't
your
a Ray J
microwave
video.
business.
It ain't a Ray J video. So y'all will not be getting your rocks and your kicks off on me. You will not. But it's all right.
Listen, listen. We've talked about so much today. Today was the Hump Day Rewind, guys. We've talked about Jamie Foxx. We've talked about Rudy Giuliani. We've talked about John Morant. We've talked
Hootie
about
Booty Giuliani.
Ron DeSantis. We've talked about the Sprinter. And, I think I always love having these talks with you guys. And I always love that we're able to keep it real and just laugh and just, remember that life is super short and that none of it is serious and that we're responsible for ourselves ultimately. So I'm grateful to be able to come here and do this with you guys. I love you guys. She put it in.
Stupid. You just read that too.
I'm
Damn
overprotective or anything.
it.
Stay overprotective. You know what? They'll appreciate it down the line. I know that I do. And I certainly did with my mom. And I didn't understand it at first, but when I got old enough to understand, I was like, damn, she really was trying to
Got it.
protect me.
Yeah,
She
that part.
really was making sure that I was good. So it's not an easy job parenting today. It never was, but it's not today because we have so many outside influences that our kids could see. We can't really protect them from everything. Um, but we just got to stay strong in our stance in what we're doing and with our goals. So that being
That part.
said, co-host, what you got going on for the rest of the week?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Good morning, gang. The morning show, GMG, is the place to be. You better ask
Yes.
somebody. If you don't, if y'all haven't hit the thumbs up, hit that. If you ain't subscribed, do that. If you ain't hit that bell, bing, you better get on it. Understand that. Friday, and that's 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time in the evening. Feel the Love Fridays. Me and Evolution Brooklyn.
Yes.
And other than that, you can see me either on these YouTube or these IG streets in my own live, the Daily Tap In, or in somebody else's live, or just in the comments, just watching like y'all do. I'm gonna be around
On the
like Top.
sprinter.
Hopefully, oh dog, damn it! I'm standing far away from a damn sprinter as possible. You hear me? I don't want no problems. Don't want y'all be saying they be trying to put me on everything and everybody. I just don't want no problems. But it's all good. And still through it
Right.
all, the sprinter van, the shenanigans and bullshittery, I smile because you know
Yes.
why? You never know what it might do for somebody, including yourself.
Clearly.
Clearly. Damn it. More
Clearly.
importantly, outside of a lap dance on a sprinter, man, love on somebody on purpose.
On purpose.
Purpose. That part. Till we chop it up and have a tater tay. All of y'all, Coca
Happy Hump Day.
Cola. Y'all have
Yes.
a nice goddamn day. Yeah, man.
Bye,
Damn it.
guys. Love you guys.